Hello, my friends. ¿Cómo están? Hola. Broadcasting live from Oaxaca, Mexico. I love it here. It's been an incredible 2 years of it just gets better and better and better and better. Behind me is part of my altar. And I use the altars, many different kinds. They always look different every day for the honoring of either my ancestors or a deity, honoring my teacher, or even an altar to myself. So that's the altar that's behind me right now that is very active in honor of Dr. Pillai, in honor of the goddess Lakshmi, Maria Magdalena, Yeshua, the white dragons, the Lord of Time, Lord Bhairava, Lord Kubera, the banker of heaven, Lakshmi, Saraswati, and I've got some big guns behind me too. I've got some powerful protection behind me. And I also have a special yantra that's been created. A yantra is a sacred symbol specifically for me, specifically for my business. Thank you, friends, for watching. I'm going to be adding a little bit more about my personal life, about how I engage with the elements and things like altars, not only the mantras that we chant, but actually the day-to-day things and some rituals that would help you and help those around you. If you create altars in your life, can you comment below? Like, for instance, today, what is on your altar? What is your altar dedicated to? I'm going to continue with the series on making money every day. So this is part 3. And the first part, making money every day, which is a mantra that comes from my teacher, Dr. Pillai, as taught through his main student, Mohini. So part 1, I'm going to put the link to that video so you can watch it and practice it, making money every day, the mantra. And then in part 2, we talked about the negative ego versus the alter ego or the God self. And that's really important for us to really get and understand. In my personal life, it was an aha moment. Because many people speak about the ego and really don't know what they're talking about. They use that word. For instance, people use the words twin flames and soulmates. And most people don't know what those relationships are and what's the difference between the two. But they use the words to say, oh, I'm in a twin flame or I'm in a soulmate relationship. They have not experienced it, but they're using the words to define what they think their reality is. It's the same way with the human ego and the alternate ego, the other altered ego, or the higher self. I didn't know what it was. I didn't even use the word ego ever, ever, ever in my own vocabulary until this past week when Dr. Pillai just shared about how we operate from the negative ego to make money or making money through the altered ego. And because he's a siddha, because he's an avatar, his words that he speaks and the mantras that he imparts and expresses as an initiation, it changes. The consciousness changes. So my consciousness change. It's like veils come up off of the eyes, and I can see. And perhaps you've had that experience before or not. Have you ever had that experience when all of a sudden it's like, oh, aha, I get it. This piece I'm sharing with you right now, and this video might go a little longer than I'm usually sharing, so please hang on to the end so that you get every piece. This piece about how we are operating, why we do what we do, why we're receiving the results we receive, this piece is so important. It's so important because when we have awareness, deep conscious awareness where there's a shift in our perspective. There's a shift not only in our perspective that we have held for so long, but also a shift in our actions and reactions to the shift in our perspective. Let's take the mostly heated topic and sometimes very uncomfortable topic of the color of someone's skin. I rarely engage in any conversation on race. To me, it's ridiculous. When we're operating at a higher level of consciousness, the higher level conversation, there's no discussion, no interest, no energy or direction focused there. So there's a perception in some cultures, and especially in the US American culture, there's that perception that if a person has a very dark skin tone, there's a perception that those with dark skin tone, and the darker the skin tone, the more stronger the perception that it's a negative perception. And unfortunately, it's still like that to this day. If there's a perception, if someone has a light skin tone with very, very blonde hair and very non-melanated blue eyes, that those people with those characteristics are considered to be very, very positive. We know there's a change in perception when there's a change in the actions and attitudes because of the change in the perception. So what does it have to do with making money every day? It's the same thing. Making money every day, we talked about the mantra, how powerful it is, but also the negative ego that operates logically, rationally. It sees the world as mostly as negative and limited. So you can tell where a person is operating from, or where you're operating from, by what's coming out of the mouth, how their actions are, what they're saying, what they truly believe. They will tell you. And so we have to be aware when we're doing it, and we have to be aware when the other person is doing it. Versus the alter ego, or the alternate ego, or the God self part of us, as Dr. Pillai was sharing and breaking it down for us. So the negative ego sees the world negatively, operates that way, sees it limited, and that's all that person is going to create. The negative ego creates negative. The negative ego creates negativity and limits, right? Rational limit. This is all we can do. This is all as far as we're going. The alternate ego, or the higher self, is the God self. It's limitless. It's creative. It's abundant. And so when we are creating and speaking and acting from that place, that's what we are going to receive. Greater, abundant, unlimited, limitless, joyful. Seeing possibilities, yes we can. All the time, yes we can. Making money every day, making money every day, making money every day, making money every day. I make $100,000 today. I make $100,000 today. I make $100,000 today. I have made 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 $100,000 today. It already happened. It's happening now. It already happened. It's happening now. It already happened. It's happening now. That's the higher self speaking and affirming and feeling good about it. The negative ego self is like, you got to be kidding. Who make $100,000 a day? She's kidding. Oh, who does she think she is? Who do I think I am? My family's going to think I'm greedy. If I start thinking about the church, it's going to think I'm a sinner because, I'm thinking about money all the time. That's the negative ego. I really want us to really understand how these two parts of ourselves, these two egos selves, are functioning and operating, because most of us have been programmed and operate from that negative ego, and most of the time is subconscious and running on automatic. So these mantras that Dr. Pillai is sharing with us, and the affirmations, which are the mantras, they help us to activate that higher self, activate that divine self, operate in that abundant arena and ambiance, because those mantras have a vibration, and those vibrations are very high, and those vibrations are constantly moving and shifting our perspective and aligning with those higher thoughts. That's how it operates. And then all of a sudden, the more we're doing that more, we're moving in the higher self more, we're operating in the divine self more, we're operating in the unlimited potential, wealthy, healthy, a joyful, creative self. This is powerful. When we get this, we become masters and adepts, and the environment cannot affect us negatively. The media cannot influence us negatively. In fact, when more of us get this, we will be influencing the media positively. Now, here I am almost at 14 minutes. This is when I'm usually wrapping up, but I must share this with you. Hang in there. Hang in here, okay? Here's the thing. There are different aspects that can be affecting what I call negative money karma. Negative money karma. And why we are operating out of that negative ego, getting the same results over and over again, and wondering why I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing this and that, and the money stuff still gets messed up. The money stuff still is out of order. The money stuff, it just feels like, what the heck is this, a curse? Well, let's go through these pieces. Number one, a negative money karma. There's a lot of pieces to this, and I can't cover them all today, but I'm going to give you a few. a few of the main ones. Number one, if you're having negative money karma, and what does that look like and how does it show up? Number one, it's like the things that are happening with your money, like you're broke, you bankruptcies, not enough money, you try all this, the good of this, or you invest here and you lose it. Anything having to do with like legal things, because legal things always negative legal things always eat up your money. Losing land, losing assets, dying poor. How many of our ancestors died poor? There's so many levels, but in our own personal life, this could show up in your life or in your children's life, right? So you gotta look at every aspect. If there's anything out of order with your money, that is negative money karma. I'm only sharing this with you because I've been through it and I'm not there anymore. This is so cleared up, and I want to make sure that you have all the information and all the tools you need to clear your money karma up so that you can prosper, so you can leave a legacy, so you could pass down some good traits, so you could gather assets, so you could become a wealthy person and do great things with the money. Negative money karma shows up in different ways. It actually even shows up in divorces. Negative money karma, like divorces, that's a negative money karma. That's a negative karma, life karma, and it's a negative money karma, unless it's done consciously. Unless it's, done consciously with joy and there's a release of that relationship. Why negative money karma? Why do we have that? Why is that even a thing? And I'm not going to go into the social aspects and the great global economy, because that's part of it, but I'm talking about personal things that are personal. Why do we have negative money karma? Well, first of all, it's choices we have made and things that we have done with money, consciously or unconsciously. Things that were out of order with the law, things that were out of order with the universal law, which supersedes the legal law of the land. So anything out of order with the law, legalities, something simple as balancing your bank account, something simple as kind of fudging on your taxes. Not just fudging on your taxes, because everybody does modifications, but like legally, illegally doing stuff with your money and your taxes. Some things we do and we don't even know that it's out of order because we don't have the financial education. So you can learn how money works. Some of the negative money karma comes because of what our parents have done, how our parents have left us. For instance, I've had, and sometimes it's not the parents, but it has to do with the parents. I've had land that was supposed to be a house that was supposed to be mine. I never got it. It was in the will of my grandmother, and I never received any of it, no part of it. No, so that's an inheritance I was supposed to receive, and I never got it. When my father died, I was supposed to receive some things, and I never got those. Well, why didn't I? Right? It could be my own personal karma, or it could be someone who did something that kept the blessing from coming down. So there's a lot of ways that this negative karma comes. If our parents did something illegal, came down on us. If they left us with debt, or if they left debt when they passed on, where's the debt going to get paid? It comes down to the next generation, because it's energy. It's energy. Energy can neither be created or destroyed. It's the law of the universe. So wherever that misalignment is with the debt in our parents or even our, into the ancestors further back, it comes down the family line. So if there's a habit of debt and, things happening with money that you can't figure out because you've done everything you know to do, then we got to look at, okay, well, what did our parents do? What did our great-great-grandparents do? So our parents, our ancestors, and we have to look at the ancestors. We got to look at all the ancestors, not only the ones we loved and were good and had good reputations and brought us gifts, but we have to look at the ancestors who weren't that nice, right? They weren't that nice. They did some things, and if you are carrying different strains of genetics in your bloodline, somebody in the bloodline did something to somebody, and all of that comes down to through the generations. The blessings or the curses, it says in the Bible, in the Old Testament, are passed down through, I think it's the 10th or the 12th generation. So ancestors, things that we have done here, there's so many aspects to why we have negative karma, but there are also remedies for this. There's more aspects. But there are remedies for all of these aspects of negative karma. And one of the things that we have to pay attention to is, really pay attention to, first of all, each and every act that I do, how I'm thinking. So again, that negative ego or that positive ego, my God. So where am I acting from? What am I doing? I'm really careful to do everything I know to do within integrity, even if it's a choice that will be uncomfortable for me. I always choose the higher level and walk in integrity when it has to do with the money. Because I've had enough negative money karma in my life to satisfy several generations, and now I'm on the other side of it. And so we have to be careful how we are personally doing our money, our finances, our thoughts, actions to other people. Everything we think and say and do is karma, negative karma or positive karma. The other aspect we have to look at is our ancestors. And one thing that we can do to help clear that stuff up is to honor our ancestors and to give them offerings and to pray for them that they would ascend and experience their own evolution of their souls. And there's a lot to this piece with the ancestors. So I'm going to leave you with this because I'm almost at like 25 minutes. First, if you're interested in knowing more about the ancestors and how you could clear stuff up regarding the ancestors, if you're interested in how you can clear things up now so that you're not creating more of the negative karma, or you have personal negative karma going on, then reach out. Schedule a consultation for me because I'm really good at seeing what's there. And I've been through my own stuff, so I can help guide you to solutions and remedies that you must do. You don't have to do it yourself for you and your family. So reach out. And keep chanting at this moment in the series that I'm doing with Making Money Every Day, Part 3. Keep chanting, making money every day, and write it out. And track your beliefs, track how you're thinking, track how you're acting. Are you acting and thinking and believing from your negative, limited ego self? Or are you acting and behaving in the alternate ego, divine God self that's full of joy and expansion and creativity? When you can notice that, when you can feel it and sense it, you're on the right track, because now you're aware, and now you can shift and pivot towards where you want to go and what you want to experience as an outcome. This is Ayanna Mojica, Wisdom Medicine Women, broadcasting from my beloved Oaxaca, Mexico. I bless you in your journey. Continue to follow, like, and subscribe, and comment, and ask questions. I'm going to put the description, more information in the description, and please reach out for a consultation. I bless you. So it is, and so it is, and so it is. Making money every day, making money every day, making money every day, making money every day. Bye, my friends.